Hi guys, my name is Robin and I've been with LivBay Lash for about 2 years now. This channel is dedicated to all things lashes and beauty, and if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscription button. In today's video, we are going to be doing a full removal of some lashes, and people could be getting their lashes removed for several different reasons, whether they're bothering them, allergic reaction, or it's some work that you can't work over and you need a fresh start. In today's removal video, we have a few products that you want to be using every single time you do removal, and today I'm going to be using the LivBay Lash Take It Off Boo Cream Remover, and we also have a gel version, but my favorite is a cream remover because it's a little thicker viscosity and it's great for people that have sensitive eyes. And then I'm also going to be using just a pink dental pad just so I can kind of have a clean surface near me. I'm going to be using our little pink lip ones, our little soft brush to wash them off after, a little squeezy bottle with just some water in there, our clear plastic medical tape. I like to use a glue ring to put my remover in, that way I don't have the chance of double dipping. You can always put it on like the iPads or whatever it is, but I like to put it in a ring. And then we're also going to be using our LivBay Hydrogel eye patches. So to start off our removal, you are going to want to use the hydrogel eye patches. And so you're just going to apply them like normal, but rather than using like a paper tape or a blue medical tape, you're going to be using that plastic tape because the remover can kind of eat through the tape and get into the client's eyes and just kind of mess up your whole iPad situation. So you want to make sure that you're using that plastic clear tape. So I'm going to have you look up towards me. Just apply that on her bottom lashes. And make sure you're getting as close to the lash line as you can, but making sure that it's still comfortable for your client and you're not going to be poking them. And our clear plastic tape comes in big pieces like this, so I like to just rip them in half, and you can just use one piece of tape per eye. So we're going to do the same thing to the other eye. Okay, going to close. And I'm just going to adjust these eye pads to make sure they're not bothering her at all. Okay, are they feeling okay? Are they poking you anywhere?
No, you're good.
Okay, let me know if they start to bother you at all. And because that clear tape is a little rougher, it's a little thicker, you always want to make sure that it's not scratching or poking the client's eye or causing them any irritation. All right, so I just grabbed one more piece of tape, ripped it in half, so you can see a little bit that her inner corner skin is kind of showing a little bit, and you don't want the chance of that remover to seep in there and kind of irritate her, because if the remover gets in the client's eyes, it doesn't feel good. So you want to make sure you have the eye closed off as much as possible, but still making it comfortable for the client. So I'm just going to take one more piece of tape on each eye to make sure that you can't see her tear duct. So now that we have the tape and the iPads on and they're comfortable, we're going to go ahead and start our removal. A normal removal time should take about 30 minutes. Some of them take longer depending on the work and how much glue was used, but an average time is about 30 minutes. So I'm going to be taking my little glue ring and my cream remover, and I'm just going to scoop a good amount into the ring so I don't have to double dip or keep using a bunch of wands. So I'm just going to place some of that in there. And it hasn't touched the client's eye yet, so I can go in one more time, get even more, because you never know how much you're going to need, but you don't want to waste it. So I just grab a pretty even amount to coat both eyes twice, just in case it doesn't come off that first go around. Okay, so now that we have the remover in the ring, I'm going to be taking the lip ones and just doing a good coat on the base of the eyelashes where that glue is, making sure that you're not touching the skin too much because you want to avoid any irritation that may happen, but just making sure you have a good coat on that base where the glue is. And since we're only using it out of the little glue ring, then we can go back in with the same little cotton swab because it's just on this client. And we're just going to repeat the same thing on the other eye. So today we are removing her lashes just so we can give her a fresh set in the future, and she has nice squeaky clean lashes. So now that we have a good even layer of this removal on her lashes, we're gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes and then take these cotton wands and make sure they just kind of slide right off, and if we need to go and do another pass, then we will. Now that about 5 minutes has passed, I'm gonna be taking 2 clean lip wands and just gently sliding with the natural way of the lashes to see if any of those are ready to come off. So since that removal has been sitting on there for so long, you constantly want to check in with your clients and make sure that their eyes aren't bothering them. Because if that remover seeps in, like I said earlier, it doesn't feel good. So I constantly ask my clients if their eyes are still comfortable and to let me know if they feel any pain at all in their eyes. And if that does happen, you can either fan them with a little electric fan, and if it seems like it's not helping, then go ahead and take that remover off as fast as you can and do a full lash bath. And if they'd like to continue, then you can, but if they want to take a little break, then go ahead and give their eyes a rest. So now we're just working at that base of the lash and just gently sliding those extensions off. And you want to make sure that you're not tugging at their lashes, so if it's not budging, you kind of just want to leave it alone, and you'll apply more remover in a little bit to see if it's ready to come off. And I like to kind of hold the tip of the lash with one of my lash wands and then take my other one and just gently pull it to the side, because sometimes they'll just come off just like that. So same thing, just gently rub in the way the natural lashes go. Make sure you're not pulling on them. And a lot of questions that clients always ask me when we do a removal is if it's going to damage their natural lashes. And it shouldn't damage the natural lashes at all unless the extensions are damaging. But that cream remover or the gel remover just kind of breaks down the bond of the glue, the extension, and the natural lash, and it should just slide it right off without damaging those naturals. And see, they just kind of slide right off without damaging those naturals. And now we got as many of those extensions off with the first pass as we could. And like I said, we don't want to irritate our eyes or tug on them too much. So I'm going to be taking more removal, and I'm going to be getting a fresh lip wand, putting it in a new glue ring, grabbing new lip ones and reapplying another layer, waiting another 5 minutes, and then going in again to see if they're ready to slide off. So now that we have that second little pass of remover on there, like I said earlier, we're gonna wait another 5 minutes to see if they're gonna budge and slide off. But if they don't, you can always go in with your tweezers and banana peel too. So now that this second pass has been sitting on there for 5 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing, get some fresh lip ones, and go ahead and just gently go with the natural way of the lashes, and hopefully they just slide right off. So you're just gonna keep kind of working at that base and make sure that that glue is just breaking down naturally, you're not tugging too much. And it may come out individually like that, just kind of stringy, and that's totally okay. You just wanna make sure that you're not causing any irritation. And sometimes after I work on a section and it's not budging, I had a little bit remover left over about right here, so I just scooped it up and put it on that base, and I'll let it sit and go to the next side after I hit these first couple ones to see if they'll slide off. Little stringies again, but like I said, that's totally okay, as long as you're not hurting your client. And you want to make sure that you're being very soft-handed, because these still are her little eyelashes and it can still bother her. So you want to make sure that you're not tugging too much and you're just doing small, gentle little movements. So now we're just going to go back to this left eye and see if these ones are ready to budge too. A big chunk just came out. That's always my favorite. So we're going to go ahead and continue. So you can always go ahead and put a third layer of removal if you want to, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get my tweezers and gently banana peel and remove those manually, because it's just kind of a little quicker. So before I go ahead and do the banana peel, I like to take just a tissue, or you can take more lip ones, and I like just kind of wipe off the remainder of that removal on there, just so I don't have the chance of like lifting her eyelid and maybe some remover seeping in. So I just like to take off the base layer of it before I do the lash bath and the banana peel. And sometimes when you are wiping it, a lash or two will come off, which is really nice too. It kind of helps you out. Even when you do a lash bath, sometimes I'll do the lash bath and then do the banana peel, and a few will pop off when I'm cleaning her too. So you can always do a lash bath before you do the removal, but I just go ahead and do the removal from the get-go because you're gonna wash the eyes anyway and clean off the makeup regardless. So the makeup shouldn't affect that removal at all. It shouldn't kind of slow it down or anything like that. You should be good. So as I banana peel, I'm just grabbing the extension with both my tweezers, and this one is kind of stuck together, so I just gently broke them apart. You want to make sure that you're not tugging at your client still, and some of them slide off just like that, and others may give you more of a hard time. But you always want to make sure that you're not tugging at that client's eye, and always grabbing the natural lash with your strongest tweezer. So sometimes when you're doing the removal, whether it's a removal during a fill or even just like what we're doing today, if a natural lash comes out and your client doesn't have a bad reaction like, ow, that hurt, it's that natural lash's time to just naturally come out. The cycle is over, its growth cycle's over, another one's coming through. So it's time to fall out naturally. Unless your client's like, ow, that hurt, then it means you're pulling their lashes out and you need to be gentle. And if they're being stubborn, kind of like this one, I could just see her lid moving a little bit. You want to make sure, like I said, you're not tugging, and go ahead and just split in half and take it apart little by little, and making sure you're being gentle. And I always tell my clients, like, let me know if I'm tugging at you at all. Let me know if this is uncomfortable, because I know if this was me, I wouldn't want someone to be like tugging at my eyes or hurting me at all. So after you have all of your client's lashes removed, I go ahead and just take 2 more either micro swabs or lip wands and just gently kind of shuffle through to make sure I can remove as much of that removal as I can. And then we're going to go ahead and take the eye pads off and do a lash bath. And while I take the tape and the eye pads off, I always give my clients a fan to hold, just in case their eyes start to irritate them if any of that remover seeps in before I go ahead and wash them. So I'm gonna give her the fan to hold and just make sure that she has that on while I take those eye pads and tape off. And you're just gonna take one strip of tape off at a time, just because those little lashes are sandwiched in between on her bottom and you don't wanna tug at her eyes too much. And I always like to kind of follow it with my finger to make sure that it's not lifting all the way at once. And now we're just going to be moving to the other eye and doing the same thing, making sure that you're being gentle and not tugging too much. Now that we have the tape and the eye pads removed, I'm just gonna go ahead and take our lash bath and our little brush and make sure that I'm cleaning those eyes really well so we have some squeaky clean lashes for a fresh set. So you just want to make sure that you're really working in that product and getting all of that remover completely off. Okay, so now that we have that remover really worked in there, I'm just going to be taking water in the squeezy bottle and just making sure that she's all rinsed off. So I like to have my clients tilt their heads slightly to whatever side that I'm washing. That way the cleanser and the water isn't seeping like all over their face and you can catch it with the tissue a little easier. You're going to be doing the same thing with the cleanser and making sure that brush is really working in between those lashes. Here's that cleanser going on. And I like to go through and do 2 passes of this cleanser just to make sure that I'm cleaning all of that remover off. And I'm holding a little tissue, or you can use a paper towel on the side of the face just so you don't have water running down the side of her face into her hair, just to kind of catch any fallout of the cleanser or water. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and rinse again. Heads up. So after I use the water bottle and I get all the cleanser off and everything, I like to go ahead and just take a tissue, just kind of wipe her eyes to make sure that there's no leftover water and they're not super soaked on there. And after I do my removal, I go ahead and grab another tissue and then I'll grab a fan as well. And I always hand the tissue to my client. And then I'm going to fan while she opens and I let her rub her eyes, kind of make sure that they feel comfortable and let me know if I'm gonna have to do another wash just in case we didn't get it off all the way. So right now I just have saline on 2 little micro swabs and I'm just gonna spot cleaning to see if there's still any little bit of residue on there and making sure that her lashes are completely clean. Thank you for watching today's video. We hope that it brought a ton of value to you guys. Question for you, do you prefer cream or gel remover? Go ahead and leave your answer in the comments below and we'll see you in the next video.